So we will dedicate our session to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. Then I will like to pay my obeisances to His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and seek their blessings. So we are on chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita. And as you know, it is a part of Bhakti Yoga, the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And it's titled as Most Confidential Knowledge. So we have already covered the first 3 sections of this chapter. From first to 3, we learnt about the glories of this knowledge, of this jnana, which Krishna is going to reveal in this chapter. That is the most confidential knowledge. And what was that most confidential knowledge? The knowledge of pure devotional service, Ananya Krishna Bhakti, in which Krishna tells that he reciprocates. He reciprocates with his devotees because he is a person. He is not impersonal. And from 4 to 10, we learned about Krishna's relationship with this world. Like Krishna is Udasinvat. Krishna is neutral, though he is managing all the affairs of this material world. He is not directly involved. So, and that's why he is not attached. But he personally reciprocates with his pure devotees. And from 11 to 25, we covered different types of worshippers of Lord Krishna. People may worship Krishna in different forms, like universal form. Some are Vishwarup Upasakas. Some worships the various demigods, who are the living entities, who are empowered living entities of Lord Shri Krishna's. They are also energies of Krishna's. And some people, they want to worship these various demigods. So they are called as demigod worshippers. And the others are Ekatvena. Ekatvena means they are the impersonalists. They want to worship Krishna as one with them. They think that they are same as Paramatma, and after liberation or after leaving this material body, we will become one with Krishna, or we will merge in the Brahman, or there is no difference. Like they want to merge and become one with Krishna. So that's the 3 types of worshippers which we did last time. And this is the last section, which solely talks about glories of Krishna Bhakti, about pure devotional service. In this section, we will find 2-3 verses which are exclusively about pure devotional service and Krishna's reciprocation with his devotees. So these are from 26 to 34. Glories of Krishna Bhakti. So this is the first verse. Will somebody like to read it?
I will read.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Lavanya.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam ye me bhaktya prayaschati tadaham bhaktupahrutam ashnami prayatatmanah. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it.
Thank you, Lavanya. So, this is a work which is talking about, like Krishna accepts everything when we offer anything and everything if we offer with love and devotion. But he doesn't accept anything from non-devotees. So the conception of love and devotion, that should be present when we are offering to Krishna. So Krishna says, if one offers me with love and devotion, so that is the most important. We have to offer with love and devotion. Even if it is a simple thing like a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, Krishna accepts. So we know that it's like it's saying that everybody is eligible for performing devotional service. Krishna doesn't distinguish us. Even the poorest of the poor, he can perform devotional service by simply offering a flower or a fruit to Krishna, and that's not difficult. Krishna doesn't desire any opulence from us, an opulent feast or something like great he wants. No, he can reciprocate with us even if with love and devotion we are offering him a flower or a leaf. And there are so many examples in scriptures which makes this clear. Like we know a story of Krishna when he visits Hastinapur, and Duryodhan offers him that, oh, please come to my house for an opulent feast. So Krishna says, refuses that. Krishna says that I cannot eat at your house because you are envious of my devotees and I'm not hungry. So a person eats at other people's house only if he's hungry or he has an affection for that person. Otherwise, he doesn't go and eat at anybody's house. So I will not. So he refuses. But then he goes to Vidura's house. Vidura is a pure devotee of Lord. And at that time, Vidura was not there, only Vidurani was there. And Vidurani, like in ecstasy, she goes and she sees like if anything I can offer to Krishna, and she finds nothing but only bananas in her house. She brings those bananas, and she was so filled with love and devotion. She was so ecstatic seeing Krishna, that Krishna has come to her house. She wanted to offer bananas to Krishna, but instead of bananas, she peeled the bananas, offered the peels to Krishna, and he threw away the bananas. And Krishna kept eating it. And when Krishna was satisfied, he says, "Now I'm full," and he goes off. So we see that Krishna even accepts the peels of the fruit if it is offered with love and devotion. And when Vidura and Vidurani comes to know that by mistake they have offered banana peels, like they were filled with so much of love for Krishna, for his reciprocation. So that is one of the story. And similarly, we know that Gajendra Moksha Leela, Gajendra offers a lotus flower plucked from that lake to Krishna, and he offers his prayers to Krishna, and Krishna becomes pleased with that. And another story of that fruit seller, she comes and with a like bucket full of fruits, and then she offers Krishna that, and Krishna in returns fill her buckets with lots of pearls and all. And another Sudama's pastime also, Sudama offers just chipped rice to Krishna, and Krishna makes his home like a palace. So Krishna reciprocates with the devotion and love of his devotees. He doesn't see that, he doesn't distinguish whether such a person is poor, he is rich, he's a brahmana, he's a speculator, he's a philosopher. He doesn't see that quality. He sees only that with what love and devotion we are offering to Krishna. So this verse is mostly talking about offering something to Krishna. Okay. And in offering, we know that daily what we offer to Krishna is like food. And we have, like already in the third chapter, we know that important verse was there, 3.13, which spoke about offering food to Krishna. And that's so important. Okay. So in this purport, Prabhupada says something. So somebody will like to read it?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna wants only loving service and nothing more. Krishna accepts even a little flower from his pure devotee. He does not want any kind of offering from a non-devotee. He is not in need of anything from anyone because he is self-sufficient. And yet he accepts the offering of his devotee in an exchange of love and affection.
Thank you, Mr. So here it is said that he is not in need of anything from anybody. He is self-sufficient. He is the master of this universe. He is the manager of this universe. But yet, when a devotee offers him something, he exchanges, he reciprocates, and then he accepts it. Now, we may think that when we offer something to Krishna, it comes back in the same form to us. There is no change. If we are offering food, it is the same. Okay. But we should know that when we offer to Krishna, Krishna's senses, because Krishna is transcendental. Okay, his mind and his body and senses are the same. There is no difference as it is in our body and our soul. There is difference. For Krishna, it is not. So Krishna's senses are interchangeable. So when we offer prayers to Krishna while offering food, he listens to our prayers. He listens that with what love and devotion we are offering to him. And through that hearing, he actually tastes and eat that food stuff. Okay. So Krishna may not eat it really, but by hearing, he can taste it. And similarly, we have seen that just by his glance, he impregnates this material world with so many living entities. So by his glance also on that offered food, he can accept it. So Krishna can do anything with any of his senses that we have already covered before. Will somebody read this?
Okay, Mataji, I'll try. To
Yes,
develop Krishna, to develop Krishna consciousness is the highest perfection of life. Bhakti is mentioned twice in this verse in order to declare more emphatically that bhakti or devotional service is the only means to approach Krishna. No other condition, such as becoming Brahmana, a learned scholar, a very rich man, or a great philosopher, can include Krishna to accept some offering. Without the basic principle of bhakti, nothing can include the Lord to nothing can induce the Lord to agree to accept anything from anyone. Bhakti is never causal. The process is eternal. It is direct action in service to the absolute whole.
Thank you, Rajesh. So similarly, like this verse has two times is tadaham bhakti upartam asnami pratmana patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prajite. Two times bhakti has been used in this verse because it's showing the importance of bhakti, importance of devotional service, importance of offering Krishna with love and devotion and his reciprocation. Because we are directly serving Krishna, the personal form of Krishna, and that's why he reciprocates with it. He gives his mercy in the form of that prasad. So it's not that we have offered bhoga and now it has become prasad. No, that prasad is actually mercy of Krishna because Krishna has actually eaten it, and this can be believed only by devotees. A non-devotee cannot understand that how can Krishna eat something just because he's not personally present. No, we as devotees we know that he can eat by his glance and hearing also. It's very difficult for a non-devotee to understand the importance of offering anything to Krishna, but a devotee knows. And related to this, there is one pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita also. There was one devotee of Lord Chaitanya, Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta, he was a doctor at that time. So he had Radha Gopinath deities at his home and he used to serve them. Once what happened, an emergency call came for him and he was just about to offer some laddus to his deities. But he had to go, so he asked his small 5 year son Raghunandan. He asked his son to offer laddus to Krishna and he told him the process and he went away. So the small Raghunandan, he put the plate of this laddus given by her mother in front of deities and he started offering prayers and ringing the bell. Then after some time he waited like he thought that Krishna will come and eat it now. So he waited, but nobody came. So he was like worried now, my father will come and scold me that you have not offered properly because so that Krishna has not accepted it. So he just started crying and he started requesting, offering prayers to his deities, Radha Gopinath, that please come and eat, please come and eat. And he was crying so vividly with love and devotion that Radha Gopinath has to come. And he literally came and ate all the laddus and finished them off. So the plate was empty. Now, this Raghunandan became very happy. After some time, when his father returned back home, he said, give me prasad. So Raghunandan said, no, Krishna came and ate them all. So there is no prasad. So Murari Gupta, he thought that he might have eaten all the laddus and he's saying like that because daily he offers and nothing happens. How can the laddus, where does the laddu go? So he thought, I will just ask him the other day also to offer and I will hide from hide in a place and then see what happens. So next day also he pretended that he had a call. He went off and asked Raghunandan to offer food to Krishna, laddus to Krishna. And Raghunandan similarly offered, and now Krishna instantly came because otherwise he will start crying. So Krishna came and he was eating laddus, but then he saw that somebody is hiding behind the curtain, and immediately he again became a deity. But that laddu, half-eaten laddu, was still in his hand. And when he took that deity form, it was half-eaten with a half-eaten laddu. So same form deity is still and have darshan of the deities. So this, this is a real story which tells that Krishna really accepts our offerings. So we should not take it lightly. But offering food to Krishna is so important. So this is the verse we were talking about. eating food offered in sacrifice. Yagyashishtashin santo muchyante sarvakil visha bhunjate tvitagam papa ye pachante atmakarna. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. So, because we are offering food to Krishna, what happens? All these, since we are performing, or in preparing food also, we perform so many sins. We are killing so many living entities, small living entities. But the act of offering to Krishna, that nullifies all our sins. That's why devotees never eat anything which is not offered to Krishna first. And others who prepare food only for their tongue, they are eating sin, it is said. So we have to be this is the first act of Krishna consciousness, which we asked somebody, like, you please offer your food to Krishna and eat. And Krishna says in this verse that he accepts vegetarian offerings in the form of fruit and flower and grains. He is not asking us to offer him meat, fish and eggs, because Krishna doesn't accept them. So that is that is also clear from this verse, that Krishna has asked us to offer vegetarian food to him in the form of fruit, flowers and grains. Otherwise he will not accept it. Now, in the last word, it was talking about Krishna's reciprocation. Okay. Now, in this verse, it's a little lower level than the 26th verse. So, somebody will recite this verse.
Yat karoshi yadasnasi yajuyo hoshi dadasi yat pasyasi kaunteya tat karishyam darpanam.
Thank you, Lavanaji. So, whatever you do, whatever you eat, yat karoshi is whatever you do. Yat ashnashi is whatever you eat. Yat juhoshi is whatever you offer. And yat dadasi is whatever you give away. And yat tapasyasi, whatever austerities you perform. Tat pushva mad arpanam. You do as an offering to me. So, definitely this verse is not talking about pure devotional service. Because in this, we are seeing that here Krishna is saying, okay, if you are not at that level, you don't have that quality of devotion service still now, you are still a beginner, you are still a neophyte, okay, then at least start the act of offering everything to me. You may not offer with that love and devotion that I am doing it only for Krishna. That is at pure devotional level. But in this verse, it is talking that you perform the act first and then at least offer it to me, offer the results to me. So maybe we may be doing something, we may be eating something, we may not have the thought that we are preparing it for Krishna, but at least when you are preparing something, you offer it to Krishna. And if you are giving up some charity, okay, you want to donate something, okay, then donate it for the temple of Krishna instead of anything else. So whatever activity you want to perform, some tapasya, some austerities like fasting and all. So don't do unnecessary fasting. If you are fasting, you at least fast on Ekadashis. Try to please me. So whatever activity you do as an offering to me. And this verse is similar to this. We can see it's talking about Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay. Nishkam Karma Yoga means when you are doing some activity, you are offering the results to Krishna, because you are still not at the platform of doing everything for Krishna. So you first perform the act and then offer it to Krishna. And if you keep doing this, there will be a time when you will be purified of all your material contaminations, and then you can come to a platform of pure devotional service. Okay. And what will happen with this? It's in the next verse. What will happen if we are offering everything to Krishna? In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. So we know that if we offer the results of our work, our activity to Krishna, we become free from the bondage of work. We have learned in the third chapter, whatever activities we do, whether it is good or bad, it will bring karma to us. We will have to face the result of that action. But we know that if we do that activity of Krishna, as Krishna was asking Arjuna, that if you're fighting as a Kshatriya, that is your duty, but fight it for me. Then you will be free from the results. And any auspicious and inauspicious results which are karma we become free from that. So with your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation. So it's in this word uses sannyas yoga yuktena. That is with your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation. So sannyas yoga yuktena. Yuktena means you are your mind is fixed in me. And in the principle of renunciation means sannyas. So if we combine these two things, it becomes yukta vairagya. Yukta vairagya means yukt means you are connected to me, you are thinking of me, your mind is fixed on me. At the same time, you are practicing the principle of vairagya, renunciation. What that does mean that it means that when we are doing something, we are like involved in any activity, we think that I am doing it for Krishna's satisfaction, not for my own satisfaction. So if in that tendency we perform any word, it is called by Rupa Goswami as Yukta Vairagya, like dovetailing everything and anything in Krishna consciousness. That is called as Yukta Vairagya. And if we are doing this, so a pure devotee, he is always thinking about like how to use everything in Krishna's service. His only consciousness and 24 hours thinking is that how I can improve my own devotional life as well as help others. So his mind is always fixed upon Krishna consciousness. So that is the actual renunciation. A sannyasi is a sannyasi who is always working in Krishna consciousness. And what will happen with this act? You will be liberated. You will be liberated from this cycle of birth, old age, death, and disease, and you will come back to me. And this liberation is not talking about that liberation, that becoming one with Brahman. It's talking about that when you are liberated, you will come back to me and you will associate with me in any one of these 5 verses. So this verse is not talking about impersonal liberation. It's talking about a devotee whose mind is always fixed on Krishna. He goes back to Krishna and serves him in his eternal abode. Okay. So
Mataji,
yes, sir.
why did we say that this doesn't include devotional component? Because the previous verse and this are connected, right, some way.
No, this verse, see, the first verse, 26th verse, it was talking about essentially this pure devotional service means Krishna is reciprocating, you're offering with love and devotion, and
Right.
Krishna is accepting that. So there it is like I am doing anything and everything for Krishna. That is your mindset. Okay. But in 27th verse, it said that any act you are performing, you are doing the activity first. Okay. And then you are offering it to Krishna. So I am not be at the same level that, oh, I am making this only for Krishna, for Krishna's pleasure. If that is our consciousness, then it is the 26th verse. But sometimes at the initial stages and when we are practicing, we are in the sadhana stage, our thought may not be like that. Our thought is we are preparing because we have to eat, we have to survive, we have to live. But we are devotees, so we have to offer it to Krishna and then eat it. That may be our consciousness in the beginning. So actually 27th verse is talking about that. Any activity you are performing, okay, you are going for a job, you do your job, but at least offer some of the results of that work to me. So their pure devotion is not coming. Devotion is there, certainly, because you are devotees, and that's why you are trying to offer any act of yours to Krishna, the results to Krishna. And in continuation of that verse, Krishna is saying, if you are doing that, you are like trying to offer everything to Krishna,
This is
then
Palashruti.
you will be free from bondage.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. Okay, so the other one, I think verse 9.27 is mostly about akarma, right?
Mostly about?
Akarma.
Mostly about akarma, like nishkam karma yoga, offering results, so that you will not have to face the results of your action. But what will happen slowly and slowly, performing this act also will lead you to pure devotional service at some point of time. Okay, because it will slowly and slowly purify your senses. When we are eating anything which is offered to Krishna, what happens? Our brain finer tissues, they will be getting purified. Our consciousness will be getting purified, because now we are not eating bhoga, we are eating prasadam. Slowly and slowly, when devotees progress, that is a progression in spiritual life. And when we are chanting, reading, hearing, then more devotion we can add to our activities in day-to-day life. The more we read, more we hear, okay, we will try to offer our this activities to Krishna more and more. Our quality of devotion will slowly and slowly increase. And Krishna also says, "Na ye yatha mam prapadante," means whatever degree you offer, that same degree I will reciprocate. So definitely there is a difference in the quality of devotion. A pure devotee is offering something, and a neophyte devotee, as we are offering something. We cannot offer Krishna in the same consciousness as a pure devotee is offering. He will be like always thinking about Krishna, and he is offering to Krishna in that same consciousness. So, and in the second line of this verse, it's saying that when you come to that stage, your mind is always fixed on me. You are practicing Yukta Vairagya, then you will ultimately come back. So that is like continuation, but in the middle he explained and then came back to pure devotional service again. Your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and you will come back. So, Sanbukru, that answers your question?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, today he's like little busy because of yesterday's and all, so he was not able to join. He asked me to take it alone.
No problem, Mataji. I
Okay.
think it is understood. I was just
And
checking.
this was easy, like this section also. This is not so difficult.
Yeah, I was just checking because 9.26 talked about pure bhakti, and suddenly we came
Actually,
to
Vishwanath
9.27.
Chakravarti Thakur also explained these two verses in this degree only. The second verse is talking at a little lower level, because here you are doing the activity first and then offering to Krishna.
Yeah.
But in the 26th verse, you are so purely offering everything to, like, with love and devotion to Krishna.
Yeah,
So that's the minor difference in the two.
Yeah, because 3.30 also Krishna said, "My sarvani karma."
Yes, my sarvani. That was totally talking about like offering activities, because it was about karma yoga. Okay.
Yes.
But now we are at the level of pure bhakti. So pure bhakti is like you're doing everything, always thinking of Krishna and performing every act for Krishna. Like you are nowhere in the picture at that time, like that. Okay. So now after that, Krishna says Krishna is equal to all, but specifically inclined to a devotee. Again, this verse talks about his reciprocation with his devotees. Shanmukha, will you recite this verse?
I will recite. Hare Krishna. Samoham sarvabhuteshu nami dveshyosti na priyaha e bhajanti tumam bhaktya mayite teshu chapyaham. I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him.
Thank you, Shanu. Okay, I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I am equal to all. This is the first line. It means that Krishna is saying that I am not partial to anyone, because I am the seed giving father for everyone. I am like, I take care of each and every living entity. And we have said this before also, that even an elephant doesn't worry that where his food will come from. So Krishna provides for everyone. In that sense, he is equal to all. He is supplying all the necessities of all the living entities whenever they require it. But in the second line, Krishna says that still I am little but inclined to my devotees. Okay. One whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I'm also a friend. So if somebody is a pure devotee, he's reciprocating with Krishna, he is offering with love and devotion, when Krishna says he's very dear to me. You know? So he's a friend of me and he's in me. He's in me means I'm attached to him. Krishna becomes a devotee of his devotees. We have seen that Krishna becomes a chariot driver for Arjuna. So he becomes a devotee for his devotees because he loves them. He's attached to them. He wants to reciprocate for their love. He wants to exchange for their love and affection towards him. And this is natural. We will, like in the purport, Prabhupada says that the Lord claims that every living entity in whatever form is his son. And so he provides everyone with a generous supply of necessities. He is just like a cloud which pours rain all over, regardless of whether it falls on rock or land or water. So in that sense, we can see that Krishna is equal to everybody. But any man in this material world may be very charitably disposed, yet he has a special interest in his own children. So this doesn't mean impartiality. It means his actual affection for his dear devotees. Because if a father has two sons, one son is obedient and the other son is disobedient, the other son is wasting money, and the other son is like utilizing everything properly and is obeying his father, definitely his father will give all things to both the children equally, but he will show more love and affection to the one who is obeying him. So the devotees are the obedient sons of Krishna, and that's why his natural affection is there for his devotees. And this also a beautiful example Prabhupada gives in the purport. Will somebody read it?
Okay, Mataji, let me try. When a diamond is set in a golden ring, it looks very nice. The gold is glorified, and at the same time, the diamond is glorified. The Lord and the living entity eternally glitter, and when a living entity becomes inclined to the service of the Supreme Lord, it looks like gold. The Lord is a diamond, and so this combination is very nice. Living entities in a pure state are called devotees.
Thank you, Rajesh. So, Prabhupada gives the beautiful example of a diamond ring and gold. He says, when they are set together, the gold ring becomes even more beautiful. So, definitely, when the living entity is in service for Krishna, it glorifies Krishna as well as glorify the living entities, and both of them together looks very beautiful. So, this combination is very nice, and that's why we should try to develop that tendency of Nitya Sarup Hoy, Jiva Sarup Hoy, Nitya Krishna Das. And when we have that tendency, then we become pure devotees and we will glitter. And Krishna will also glitter. The Lord and the living entity eternally glitter together. This is verse number 30 and 31. Now, again, Krishna talks about his devotees. He says, I excuse them, even if they are committing some most abominable action. So, api chetasu duracharo, even if one commits the most abominable action. Bhajate mam ananya bhag, if he is engaged in devotional service to please me. Sadhur eva sa mantavya, I consider him my saintly devotee because samyak vayash vakito hi saha, he is properly fixed in his determination on me. Shipram bhavati dharmatma, he quickly becomes righteous, devoid of contamination. Shasvas shantim gacchati, and attains lasting peace. Kauntaya pratijani, O son of Kunti, declare it boldly. Na me bhakta panashati, that my devotee will never perish. So, this verse actually talks that sometimes because we are conditioned, okay, a devotee is trying to practice. Definitely, we all are trying to practice. But we are always under the modes of material nature. And this material nature is very strong. It's called Duratya, 7.14, Mamaya Duratya. So this material energy is so strong that sometimes we succumb to it. we do some activity which is abominable, okay, which is not according to a devotee's standard. At one time, at one level, we are trying to practice devotional service, but sometimes we may perform some activities which is not socially and politically accepted. It's not according to prescribed duties, or it is not according to things which are mentioned in the Vedas. We do some activities which is against the Vedas. So in that case, what Krishna says, if suppose by accident, if by chance, accidentally somebody falls down from his position, he commits some sin, he commits some action, then also, if he is doing his sadhana, he is chanting my names, he is trying to perform devotional service, I still consider him as my devotees. If he is properly, with determination, trying to practice devotional service. Okay, so this talks about that accidental fall down sometime which happens in the life of a devotee. It's like devotees are also human beings. They are living in this material world. Okay, so we have to understand that they can also commit mistakes. So Prabhupada says, if somebody commits mistake, we should not deride that devotee. Okay? We should understand. We should not make fun of that devotee, because doing that will bring him more down. But instead, if we don't find fault in him, we try to help him, he will be elevated. And if somebody derides that devotee and he removes that devotee from the ashram, and he's not allowed to come to the temple, then that will affect his devotional service. So Prabhupada says, if accidental fall down is there, we should still accept that devotee and try help him reform again back. And because he's still doing the devotional activities steadily with determination, because this chanting itself is such purifying process. The devotional service is such a purifying process. It will definitely purify him, and that's purification. He will again become righteous. He will be devoid of that material contamination. He will soon come to the platform of devotional service again. So we should wait for that devotee to come back again. And in the life of Prabhupada, there were many devotees like sannyasis. They were foreigners, and they used to fall down. They used to come down from their level. Like even some of the sannyasis, they left their sannyas ashram. But Prabhupada, whenever they used to come back, Prabhupada just used to say that you have served me before so much, and because of that service, Krishna will always remember. Remember your service towards me and him, and he will take care of you in the future and always. And he used to accept them and wholeheartedly accept them back again in his community. And we are living in Vrindavan. We have seen that some of these devotees who accidentally fall down, who are not able to keep up to the level of devotional service, they were again engaged in some material activities. They, for some years, they were not able to practice. But finally, when they were old and they had to leave their body, they returned back to Vrindavan. And they used to feel sorry. They used to ask forgiveness from senior devotees. And we have seen leaving their bodies in an environment that devotees are chanting for them, devotees are praying for them, because devotees knew that these are the devotees who have served Prabhupada so much. So, and we have learned this in 2nd and 6th chapter also, that Neha Abhikamu Nashu Asti. Whatever devotional service a person performs, it never goes waste. So, due to some accidental fall down, we should never try to bring that devotee down. Okay, so that is the message in this verse. Because that devotee will soon become righteous, because he's performing that act of devotional service still. It's said that if we commit some sins in Vedas, it is told that we have to perform some prayashita. So many different prayashitas are given in Vedas. Like if you have done this sin, you have to do this prayashit and this and all. But for a devotee, Prabhupada is saying that a devotee is himself always doing that process of purification, because he's chanting Krishna's name, and that itself will purify him, and he will become righteous again and attain peace. Now, in the last line of this 31st verse, Krishna is saying, Kaun te pratijani, O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee will never perish. Now we know that here Krishna is asking Arjuna to declare this. Why? Can somebody comment on this? Why Krishna is asking Arjuna to declare this?
Because Arjuna is a pure devotee of Lord Krishna.
So what will happen with that?
No, it's because he was in despondency, and then I think he is able to bring out Arjuna from that despondency, right? So that is what.
Okay, anybody else want to comment on this line?
Because Krishna protects. The moment you do service to him, Krishna takes care of him.
Okay, Raj. Actually, yes, Hashiprabhu.
Maybe this would be, more convincing for people who are listening to Arjuna, because Arjuna is representing all of us. So Arjuna has, if he has gained this knowledge and if he himself is declaring this, we would probably, be more convinced on this.
Okay, thank you, Hashiprabhu, Rajprabhu. But actually, what Prabhupada and other acharyas has explained about this, and we also know that, but it's not coming in our mind at present, that, O son of Kunti, declare it boldly. Krishna is asking Arjuna to declare this, that my devotee will never perish, because Krishna knows that he can break his own promise, but he will not break the promise of his devotees. The example is Bhishma Pitama. Bhishma Pitama took a vow that he will make Krishna lift a weapon in the war. Because Krishna has taken a vow that he will not lift a weapon. But to keep the promise of his devotee, he lifted that wheel. Okay. So he broke his own promise, but he kept the promise of his devotee. So Krishna loves his devotee so much that if devotee is making a promise, devotee is saying something, then he will make sure that it is done. And that's why the reason here also Krishna is saying that declare this to this world that my devotee will never perish. Okay.
Prabhupada,
so that
in
is
his
the main
document, in the documentary of Srila Prabhupada, I heard Prabhupada referring this verse, because when he was in when he went initially, he was not getting full support, but he has firm belief on Krishna. But he said he used to inspire himself by this verse. It verse used to inspire him a lot.
Yes.
Name Bhatta Pranashyati. That is one thing. And Sri Gauradas Prabhuji explained yeah, go ahead, Mataji. I'll tell that later.
Because he had that faith in the words of his Guru Maharaj. His Guru Maharaj told him that if you preach to this, whatever his Guru Maharaj has said, he wanted to make it true, and he knew that since his Guru Maharaj has willed this, his wish was there. Definitely will come true someday, and that's why with faith he went there and he made it true. He made that true, that his devotees' word will never go in vain. And that's the proof for him, and that's why he always used to use this verse that he will get success somewhere, always, sometime.
And also,
initially he has faced so many difficulties, but ultimately he will get success.
And Prabhuji also explained one of the devotee, I don't know the name. It seems he has served Prabhupada extensively in his prior time, I mean for a long time. After that, he got disconnected due to some reasons in the material world.
Brahmanand Prabhu was there. So there are many examples.
And he said that that person, towards close to his death, when he was suffering from cancer, before his death, few days before, he came to Vrindavan and he left the body over there. So Prabhuji was gloriously
that was Brahmanand Prabhu and many other Prabhus, because we lived in Vrindavan. We used to see that these sannyasis, they lost their track for some time because they were foreigners. We are still Indians. We also sometimes are not able to follow these regulative principles. We are not able to follow the devotional process so nicely. So these devotees in the initial days, when Prabhupada was struggling, they helped them so much that few years. And Prabhupada used to say that these few years which they have served me, they are only sufficient for them to go back to God. And they will return back. even if they have accidentally fallen down. So, and we have seen so many devotees of Prabhupada who were sannyasis before, but they were not able to maintain that ashram. But later on, they came to Vrindavan and they left their body in Vrindavan amongst devotees. So that develops a faith that my devotee will never perish. I will take care of him. So that is the thing.
And Vishwarup Prabhuji, in one of his talk on that Nrsimha Jayanti, he said that whatever is a pure devotee wishes, Krishna will make it happen. And he gave the example of Prahlada, how Lord Nrsimha came from the pillar just to make sure that Prahlada's word become true. That's
Yes.
what he said.
So
I just remembered few things.
Yes. So that's why here Krishna is asking Arjuna to tell this to world. Okay. So that is the thing. And we should also develop that faith that yes, if we become a devotee of the Lord, Krishna will take care of us. Pure devotees will take care of us. Because even if we are accidentally fall down, if we remain in the association of devotees, they will lift us. That will purify us. Okay. So we'll move to the next verse. Okay. This was some example given by Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, that all the students in a school cannot be expected to perform at same level. Similarly, devotees are in different stages of their advancement in spiritual life. We have to understand that we are not all on the same level. There are some devotees at higher consciousness, we are at lower consciousness. We should not look down upon a neophyte devotee who is in his initial stages of spiritual advancement in doing some faults. So if we are, it's always said that we should not we should not do fault finding. We should not find faults in others. Okay, if we find faults in other devotees, that will hamper our own spiritual progress also. And we should understand that we all are trying to follow this process, and we may be at different levels. We should always aspire to be at a higher level. We should try to reach at that level, but we should not pull, that leg pulling should not be there. If that happens in the devotional process also, then it will be like material only. In material world also, we are always trying to pull the leg of each other. We're trying to bring down others. We are envious of others' advancement and all. So in spiritual life also, if we are envious of other people advancement, that will be that will hamper our devotion service also. So we should not find fault. We should not look upon our devotee, and we should always understand that each one of us is trying to elevate ourselves, and we should also help each other instead of finding faults in others. Okay. As long as one is not perfect, there may be accidental fall down from the path of saintly character. Circumstantial, despicable activities does not make him abominable. Due to some circumstances, sometimes something may happen, but we should always keep this in mind. But at the same time, one thing is important. What? We should not commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. That is the 7th offense. You must have gone through the 10 offenses. No? In that 7th offense is to commit some sinful activities on the strength of holy name. So that should not be in our mind, that I will do all nonsense, and because I'm chanting, and due to this chanting, my sin will be nullified. No. If you have that consciousness, that is wrong. Okay. So we should avoid the 7th offense. We should try our best not to commit offenses, not to fall down. But accidentally, if it happens, we keep continuing chanting, that will purify us, and we will be slowly become righteous again. So that's the thing. This is the example actually we talk. Krishna broke his own promise to keep the promise of his devotee, and he requested Arjuna to announce that my devotee never perishes, thinking that he may break his own promise, but will never let the promise of his devotee go in vain. Okay. Now this is the 32nd verse. So now we have talked about like accidental fall down and Krishna's love and all. Now Krishna is saying that I think so by mistake this 32 verse translation, instead of that we have another verse translation.
It was 28.
So I'll just open the Veda base maybe. Actually, in this verse, Krishna says that even if somebody is a woman or a chandal or a lower birth, he can still he will. I'll just
I open Mata.
you open, you read it. Then.
Yeah. O son of Partha, those who take the shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, and Sudras, can attain the supreme destination.
Yes. So, mahi part vyapashitah ye api suha pap yonaya striyo vaishyastha shudrastya api yanti param gatim. So now Krishna is saying, those who are taking shelter of me, those who are surrendered unto me, those who are doing pure devotion service, even if they are women, they are Vaishyas or Shudras, they can attain the supreme destination. So we know that we have four varnas: Shudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya, and Brahmanas. In this, the Shudras are considered as the lowest. Okay, and we should not think that because he belongs to a Shudra class, he cannot reach to Krishna, he cannot attain Krishna. If there's such a Sudra or Chandala, he comes in contact of pure devotee, then he can start his devotional services. And there is an example of this Mrigari. Mrigari was a hunter, and when Narad Muni met him, and Narad Muni gave him some instructions, he followed that. And due to association and contact of Narad Muni, this Mrigari became a great devotee of the Lord. So, similarly, this verse says that Varna doesn't matter. You belong to any Varna. If you are associating with devotees, you are doing devotional activities, then you can come back to me. And women are also considered little, like we know that in Vedas it is mentioned that if you have performed lots of punya, then only you get a male body. Lots of punya karma is required to attain a male body. And we have to accept the fact, yes, definitely. Women are considered as lower birth. But Prabhupada used to say that whether woman or man, if you are doing devotional service, Krishna will take care. Krishna doesn't distinguishes at that level. Okay, so even of lower birth, woman, Krishna is telling that you can come back to me. Don't worry. So in the next verse, Krishna says that then what to speak of qualified people? If you are righteous Brahmanas, you are devotees, you are saintly kings, you are Rajrishis, then definitely you will come back to me. So kim punar brahma punya bhakta Rajrishya tatha anityam asukham lokam prapya bhajasva mam. So after that, in the last line, Krishna is giving his instruction. Krishna is saying that okay, you have come to this temporary miserable birth, this dukhalyam, which is temporary, which is miserable, which we have talked about, dukhalyam ashashvatam in the 8th chapter. At least now you engage in loving service unto me. If if you engage in loving service of me, I give you assurance that you will come back to me. So this is a request from Krishna's, by your free will, by your this desire to enjoy separately from me, you have somehow fallen into this material world. But now, at least don't remain in this temporary miserable world, which is temporary, but it's not false. Okay. So if you have come to this world and you are doing devotional service, you can come back to me. He is requesting us to get out of this temporary miserable world. And in the next verse, which is the last shloka of this chapter, he tells the process again, like how you can engage in my loving service unto me. So that is the last shloka and most important shloka, which is twice in Bhagavad Gita. It will be repeated again in the 18th chapter. Man manabhav mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru mam veshyasi yuktavevam atmanam mat prayana. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. So in the last verse, Krishna was requesting that engage your mind in me, and he's giving like engage in loving service of me. And how to do that? That is the process. You have to always keep your mind engaged in me. That is again like the 9 process of devotional service. You are always remembering me, you are chanting my names, you are hearing about me, you are becoming my devotee by reading, chanting, hearing, perform devotional services, and naturally you are offering prayers to me, you are offering my archana to me. So this Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vadanam, Dasyam, Atma Nivedanam. So all these, again, this verse is also about the practicing these 9 processes of devotional services. And by practicing this 9 processes of devotional service, you will become completely absorbed in me. Your mind will be always 24/7 thinking about me, how to propagate this process of Krishna consciousness, how to improve my own devotional life. And in the end, surely you will attain my eternal abode, which is not temporary and miserable, which is full of bliss and knowledge. So this is the again a verse which is talking about your devotional service. So that was from my side. If anybody has any questions. I think so. This is like easy section of this chapter. It's like talking about how devotee should do, what should he do, offer, and all these things. And Krishna tells that my devotee will never perish, even if he's committing some sinful mistakes, even if he's from woman or chandala, he can come back to me if he's an association of pure devotees. And all this thing has been talked about in this. So it's basically talking about ye yatha mam prapadanti. As you reciprocate with Krishna, similarly Krishna will reciprocate with you. So we have to work upon improving our quality of devotion day by day. So any questions?
This is so nectarian chapter, Mataji.
Actually, this part we used to love because we have already done this in our previous devotees used to join. We have already completed 18 chapter in that. So I and Nikita Mataji, we used to say like this section of this chapter is like really very good. And this thought process will continue in the 10th chapter up till verse 10, 11.
Exactly. Yeah, 11. Even 7th and 8th chapter summarized in 9th chapter, as if it appears like it is exclusively summarized, and what devotee will attain in the end, and how special care he takes for the devotee. And I think
that's why it's come in the middle. 9th and 10th chapter in the middle, because they are the cream of the entire Bhagavad Gita.
And chapter that verse number 20, 21, 22 are so nice in this chapter also. I mean, those